Homeowners, why do you
Hey, good morning, Facebook folks.
every month to the electric
Let
company
me,
when you can save thousands of dollars over time with a solar energy
dang it.
system that increases the value of your home and eventually can have you enjoying no monthly payment at all? Green Solar Technologies has years of experience as leaders in residential and commercial solar systems and is proud to be a platinum installer for SolarWorld, the country's top-selling manufacturer of American-made solar panels. Call 800-507-1148 today for a free estimate and to take advantage of current tax credits, grants, and rebates, which can save you even more. Green Solar Technologies guides you through every step, including financing options, which will allow you to enjoy all the benefits of solar power for zero down, zero payments, and zero interest for the first year. Stop paying high energy bills and start saving money today by calling Green Solar Technologies at 800-507-1148. That's 800-507-1148. 800-507-1148.
The following program, paid for by Right Path Real Estate, does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of
But
Right
it
Path
should.
management or ownership of this station. It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio with Tom Perry. Get the answer to your
Hey, good morning,
question
Matt.
that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding.
Morning, Ginger. Morning, Andy.
Get ready. The guide that will put your fears behind you is on the air now.
Put your
Taking
fear
calls
behind you.
713-785-1817.
Oh, there we go. That's better.
Toll free 877-881-0271. Now here's your host, Tom Perry.
Hot mics.
Hey, welcome to the show. Want to get right into it. We've got a Build Your Team Tuesday. And first up on the deck coming in via the telephone, I've got Jennifer Hernandez. She is the Hernandez team at Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Welcome to the show, Jennifer. How are you?
Hey, Tom. Good. I missed seeing you this morning. I had to finish a project back to the office, so
No, I understand.
over there. But yeah. So hey, will you talk? What do you want to talk about? Because I have something in my head that I just want to mention of kind of what we're seeing.
Yeah, absolutely. Do that.
I always want to know post-harvest. So what we're starting to see, I'm still not seeing houses. We still don't have. I personally don't have any clients that are buying houses that have been remodeled after the flood. What we're starting to see is credit reports are becoming hampered. They'll be on the forbearance with a mortgage, or they had the car, where you report to your creditor, like, hey, you get 3 months no payment because of the storm, right?
Right.
We're starting to see some erroneous reporting for clients that, oh no, that's not supposed to be late. I told them, I was affected by Harvey and this, that, and the other. So we're starting to see credit scores are coming down for some clients. So if you're listening and you're a realtor, or investor, or a friend of someone buying a house, please let them know to check their credit report with a monitoring system or something to make sure, and just don't assume that these creditors are reporting it correctly.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that people that have been affected by Harvey lost a car, then they went through one of the major auto companies' credit programs that said, hey, you can buy a car, not make a payment for the first 90 days because you've been affected by Harvey. That if you don't make all of those payments typically on the 91st day, it's not like it starts one payment on day 91. You've actually got to make 4 payments on day 91, right? You've got to, or at least 3 payments on day 91.
Well, yes, that is true. And what I'm also finding is a lot of this stuff was done over the phone because obviously you're flooded, you're freaking out.
Right, sure.
Phone call.
Yeah, you're not getting mail at the house, right?
And the creditors, I don't know if they are sending correspondence and the people aren't getting them, but I asked the guy who has the forbearance, I said, well, can you send me the email or the mail that they sent you confirming what your terms of your forbearance were? And he said, no, I don't have anything. I just did everything over the phone. And I'm like, well, they had to send you something, right? What? So
the situation is he has a flooded home. They told him, hey, you don't have to make a mortgage payment for 90 days, which he didn't. And then day 91, when he's supposed to make 4 payments, because that's the way the forbearance works, he hasn't done that. So he still has a flooded home. He's obviously living someplace else, I assume, right? and now he's looking to buy another house while he owns his first house, right? And he might have been able to qualify.
He's actually trying to refi his house. He wants to finance the forbearance, which on conventional you definitely can't do. FHA, it's possible, but in writing, I need to know the terms of the forbearance. So we're just starting to see a lot of that kind of stuff happen because we're, 120 days past, and even non-mortgage accounts like autos or credit cards, we're just seeing miscellaneous late payments where, maybe the client didn't understand, oh, wait, I thought it was 90 days. Like they didn't understand when the next payment was supposed to be due.
Right.
Or, because if they got September, October, November grace period, then the guy had late in December on his car payment, and he thinks he shouldn't have it. So here's the bottom line. Everybody's confused. People are confused. People are stressed out. I've got another client that wants to rebuild, but she's not sure yet still what she's getting from FEMA, and she's, people are very, they just don't know. They're very confused. They're very still in the dark about, oh my God, what should I do? I want to rebuild, but I don't have enough money to rebuild. So, it's just requiring, of course, hand-holding and patience, which I have plenty of. And we're just starting to see this aftermath of now, as you and I predicted, and we knew months ago that this would be the crunch time of when that was all coming out. Right?
I think it's going to be still. I think we're over the next 3 to 4 months is really when people are. I think there's so many people that have not made decisions because they don't have. Most people need information to make decisions, right? How do you make decisions in a vacuum of information? That's a very, very difficult thing to ask people to do, especially when you're talking about major life-changing decisions. And so I think that really over the next 3 to 6 months, that's when people are going to be, dealt the information, as you will, over time. And that's when people are going to start making decisions. I was involved in a conversation last night at a special invite real estate investing networking group last night. And there was an investor walked up to me and said, hey, what do you see going on? And I said, well, I think, this is really going to be a 2-year process. He goes, oh, well, I don't think so. I mean, I think it's basically, all the buying opportunities are pretty much done. I'm like, are you crazy? I mean, it's like,
you got to be crazy.
Yeah. And he goes, oh, well, it's just going to be nothing but a bunch of REOs from here on out. I'm like, well, I don't think that's how it's going to go down. And he goes, well, and so he just, started, explaining all of his reasons. I'm like, dude, I mean, you can believe that, but I think you're wrong. And he goes, well, tell me why I'm wrong. I'm like, I don't really have the time to educate you here. I mean, listen to the radio show. We talk about it a bunch there. Come to our weekend retreat. We talk about it a bunch there. In fact, I want to give a quick plug. Weekend retreat is coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend. Go to rightpathrealestate.com. Register for that. Email support at rightpathrealestate.com. We have a discount code if you're listening to the radio show today. Want to give you $1,000 off the ticket price to go. And I also want to give out Jennifer's information.
Oh, wow.
It's jennifer.legacymutual.com, 713-579-3600. That's 713-579-3600. She's the Hernandez team at Legacy Mutual Mortgage. So I was also talking to a gentleman yesterday, and he goes, hey, every time that I hear the radio show where you're asking, has anybody sold a house retail yet that's been an investor that bought a property, post-flood, rehabbed it, sold it retail? He goes, I keep wanting to call in to tell you, yes, I did it. And so the story is that he actually owned a property before the flood. This guy does a bunch of houses, about 50 houses a year. He does new construction, new development, also remodels, buys, fix, and flips, does some buy and hold. He does a little bit of all of it. He's been in construction a bunch of years. He already owned this house. They were in the middle of a rehab. Then it flooded during Harvey. He basically had to start back over with the rehab. He actually listed it. I think he's listed originally for $435. He sold it for $429. It went less than 30 days. So he got pretty close to what the pre-flood ARV was. I mean, he discounted, I think, maybe 5%, wow, something like that. So he got pretty close to pre-flood ARV. Here's what I'm finding is that not only am I seeing flooded houses in flooded areas, not only in flip price ranges, but also buy and hold ranges. I don't know if you've driven by if you've gone down, and I don't know how you go to work. I know where your office is, but if you get a chance to go down Memorial to Kirkwood, and then go southbound on Kirkwood. On the right-hand side, there's a house that has been lifted, and it's been lifted a good 15, maybe 20 feet up in the air. I've never seen a house raised quite like this before, and I see that some people, that's the choice they're doing. I'm seeing also in that same neighborhood that they've scraped some houses and just it's vacant land now. I mean, I see that there's a lot of different strategies that homeowners are doing. But I'm even going in, you look at a neighborhood like an Oak Forest, for example. I'm seeing record number of houses for sale in Oak Forest. I've never seen this many houses. And so, and a lot of that section didn't actually flood. So I'm seeing there's going to be a lot of inventory coming on board. It's going to be a good opportunity to be a buyer. But as an investor, you're going to have to be careful that you don't overpay for properties.
Yeah. For sure.
So have you seen yet a retail mortgage that's come through? Because, one of our houses that flooded, we actually owned it before the flood. You know about it, Carroll Crest. We just finished the rehab on Friday. It was a major rehab. It's going to be one of the nicest houses in the neighborhood. It should be listed by this Friday because we're getting photos taken, we're getting it staged and all that kind of stuff. It should be up and going maybe by Wednesday or tomorrow or Thursday. But it'll be ready to go this weekend. So that'll be one of the first ones that we've had post-flood that we didn't wholesale or that we didn't buy to keep as a buy and hold. So have you seen an influx of those yet?
No, I haven't. And people are asking me, are you going to be okay loaning on a house that was flooded? And the answer is, as long as it's been rehabbed and fixed.
Right.
The answer is we're fine with it as long as you can get insurance on it. I mean, that's the deal breaker is insurance.
Okay, one more question I have as it relates to your experience with mortgage companies, because I have an opinion, and it's only that. It's not based anywhere in fact or anything like that. It's just logic. But I don't think that when it comes to mortgage companies, that all these people that are behind in their mortgages, they've gone through the forbearance process. Sometimes they don't have enough equity in the house based on the condition that it's in, that even if they remodeled, that with the extra money, if it wasn't insured, that a lot of these people are going to just be walking away from these houses. They're going to start mailing keys back and things like that. And somebody said, well, then all that's going to happen is the banks are going to start foreclosing. But when a bank forecloses, that means that the bank is entitled to the property. They've got the deed to the property, and there's liability that goes along with that. So my question is it going to be a situation where are mortgage companies even going to want to foreclose on these properties to put themselves on the deed? How do you think that the mortgage companies are going to exit out of this?
I don't know. I totally see your point because contrary to what people think, mortgage companies, regardless of the equity, don't want to foreclose.
They don't ever want to own the house, right?
No, they say, I'm putting 50% down. What does the bank care? They can just foreclose on it and make money. I'm like, no, you don't get it.
They don't ever want to own the house.
There's so much work. No, ever.
Right.
And so I don't know. And even on a short sale, whoever's buying the short sale, let's say someone, instead of walking away, tries to short sale it, but we can, in retail, we can't do a loan on the house unless it's been rehabbed.
Correct.
So they'd have to get a construction to perm loan, and they could do it through construction, right?
Right.
Not everybody has 20% put down. So it's going to be really interesting. To answer your question, I don't know.
All right. So I stumped the expert. Yeah. Okay, so I've been enjoying.
I don't know.
So we're out of time. I want to give out your information. It's jennifer.legacymutual.com, 713-579-3600, 713-579-3600, jennifer.legacymutual.com. She's the expert among experts when it comes to retail mortgages. We love working with her. She's awesome. Thanks for listening. Thanks, Jennifer.
Mike's off.
Yeah, I know that Ashley is on the line.
Ashley's on the phone.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, he said he's stuck in traffic.
Are you expecting to close accurately, on time, and with lots of communication on your home purchase? You've come to the right place. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer with Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Our goal is to give our borrowers and referral partners an amazing experience during the loan process. My team believes in putting people and culture.
Hey, good morning, Lisa.
Our company
good morning, Dave.
On building those
I should say
teams
David.
who operate with structure,
Good morning, Gabe.
process, and recognition
Hey, Jose.
for going the extra mile for you. This way, we have the energy
Hey,
to
Lindsay.
make this
Good morning,
your
Mary.
best home purchase ever. Give us a call today to find out the simple steps to get started. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, the Hernandez team at Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Jennifer.legacymutual.com or call 713-579-3611. Again, Jennifer.legacymutual.com. We can't wait to consult with you soon. NMLS 514497.
Equal Housing Opportunity Lender. NMLS 514497.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time and money. Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties. Contact Benchmark about our exclusive investor package. Call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Did you know that there are over $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S.? Imagine if you could use someone's IRA to fund all of your deals. Well, you can. Quest IRA is based locally here in Houston, Texas. At Quest IRA, we offer retirement accounts that can be used to invest in real estate, promissory note, private entities, and much more. Many of our clients loan money from their IRAs to fund real estate deals all over the country. We don't sell any investments or give advice. However, we do hold free networking events, weekly educational classes, and free consultations with an IRA specialist. For more information, visit our website at questira.com or call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs. To tap into the $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S., call Quest IRA at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or go to our website, questira.com.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
This is Business 1110.
All right, Mr. Perry, hot mics.
Who doesn't want to have another one bite the dust? All right. Welcome back to the show. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. Going to be joined live via the call-in hotline, Mr. Ashley Patten, Patten Law Firm, Texas American Title. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you so much, Tom. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How you doing rolling in that molasses this morning?
You know, how do you make a dumb Texan? Just add water.
Right.
I mean, it's amazing when it sprinkles.
Yeah.
People can't drive. When it snows, people really can't drive.
Oh, isn't that the truth? Yes, that is absolutely. Yeah, you know, I have such a short commute now. I wasn't even noticing the weather when I came in. I could have walked to work today. I live that close.
See, then that is nice. That is nice.
Yeah, I literally I can leave my townhouse at 8:45 and I can be here at 8:48. And I have to go through 1, 2, 3, 4 stop signs and 1 red light, and that's it. It's less than 2 miles. Yeah. So
I'm right at 2 miles away from my office, but I got to go through 610.
Yeah.
As always.
Yeah, 610's not fun. So I always love to have you on board and ask you, is there anything going on title-wise? Because I know y'all got a big announcement. Y'all just opened up a new office up in Cypress, right?
Yeah, we're opening in March 1st. We'll open up in Cypress. So I'm excited about it because Cypress is a growing market. It's a hot market. It's a ton of flood properties, a ton of other properties, and it's just it's an investor heyday. I mean, it's one of the flippiest area codes out there.
I would agree with that. There's a lot of buy and hold going on up in Cypress, and then there's a ton of flips going on in Cypress as well. It's a very active investor marketplace, no doubt about that. And for a lot of people, brand new, they don't really realize what it is. I know you've got a law firm there, and you've got a title company. So what does a title company do, and how does a law firm interact with a title company? Explain how that works for a brand new investor.
All right. Well, basically, a title company acts as your settlement provider, and they insure the title.
So, what does that mean in layman's language? So that's active investor going to know exactly what you said. What's a brand new guy gonna? What does that mean?
Well, basically, it protects your home. So, in other words, if somebody comes back and says, "Hey, I own the property. I have a judgment against the property. I have a lien against the property. I have interest in the property, whether I inherited it, whether I won it from the lottery, or whether I sued for it, title companies step in and protect. It's unlike property and casualty insurance where you have to buy it every year, title insurance is a one-time purchase, and it protects you for life that you own your house.
So you don't have to make monthly payments on title insurance. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so title insurance.
All right. So then, how is it that the law firm ties in with the title insurance?
Okay, well, basically, every title company has attorneys, but the difference between our firm and, say, someone else's, I'm out front. So, in other words, if you want to talk to a lawyer, call me directly. I speak underwriter, and so when we've got...
That's a whole language of its own. Most people understand, like, there's Japanese, there's Spanish, there's English, there's French, there's Korean, right? But underwriters, it's a language all of its own.
It's all of its own, and then basically, if you speak to the underwriter in a language they understand, you get deals closed.
Yes,
simple as that.
So you can actually be when there's a difficult, because let's face it, there's easy files and then there's challenging files, right? And it seems like that most investors deal with challenging files because it's not just like a refinance situation. It's not like, hey, I live in my primary residence and I'm selling my homestead. I've lived in the house for 20 years. Now I'm selling and buying another house. I'm upsizing or whatever. And that's a relatively easy transaction, right? It's when someone's passed away and there wasn't a will or there wasn't a probate and there's claims to, and all these other situations come in, that's when you're going to have some potential claims for title. And so you're able to explain those situations, right?
That's exactly right. Now, it's the more difficult the title is, the more meat there is on the bone for an investor. So it's just if you take a house that was sold 5 or 6 years ago from a builder, that's not an investor type of house because, unless the person is completely upside down, I mean, they own the property and they know exactly what the property's worth. And so where the gems come in is when you find the properties that are twice removed and you find the heirs, and then, an heir doesn't even know he owns the property.
Yeah, we found a bunch of those. Yeah, we called a lady one time, and she had actually inherited from her grandfather 3 houses like 20 years ago and didn't know it. And people ask, like, well, how could that possibly happen? Well, grandfather had been married twice. He had a will that left it to his second wife, which was apparently his favorite wife. She passed away, didn't have a will, only had one son. He passed away, didn't have a will, only had one daughter. That's this lady. Somebody else that was a distant relative to the family, they had been taking care of the property as rentals, keeping the rent and all that. The granddaughter been basically, been being ripped off by like this distant uncle by marriage. Wasn't blood relative. And we call her up and say, hey, here's a situation. You own this house. She's like, I don't even know where those are. She said, I kind of remember them from when I was like 5 years old that my grandfather owned some properties. And lo and behold, and talk about a great, we help put her in title on 3 different properties that she was able to sell 2 of them. And we made a great deal on that. It was a win for us, and she was able to get a rental property herself. Now she's a landlord. Never in a million years ever thought that she'd ever be owning a rental property, and yet here she already did. And so when you find those situations, yeah, that is when the real gems exist.
Right, because not only do you help somebody out, you help yourself out.
That's exactly right. We're always looking for win-win situations. I know that's the reason why Patten Law Firm exists. Y'all exist for win-win situations. I want to give out y'all's contact information. It's plfpc.com, 713-621-5808, 713-621-5808, plfpc.com. So I want to ask you the same question I asked Jennifer earlier in the previous segment. So with all the flooded houses in Harvey and everything that's going on, so, I realize that there's a lot more inventory that's going to be coming down the pike in the future. Some people as investors, they've talked to a bunch of sellers, those kind of things. You and I were at the same event last night. I talked to this one investor. He was asking if we've been buying any flooded houses to flip. And I said, look, we closed on one about 2 weeks ago, described the house. He goes, oh, I was in there just a couple of days after the flood. And what I see is a lot of investors got really busy too soon after the flood. And he said, look, I wasn't willing to offer anything, above 300. And I go, well, yeah, I wasn't either. And I mean, I bought the house. I offered them 225. And at that time, they wanted like 475. So they were wanting retail post-flood. Well, that was only a couple of days after the flood. He's offering nothing above 300. I come in 90 days after the flood, offered 225, and they countered at 232, and that's what we bought it at. So people's reality starts shifting as the time goes on. But I see just driving through so many neighborhoods, there's still so many houses that people haven't addressed what are they going to do. And I see a lot of people are behind in their mortgage. They've taken the 90 days. You've got a flooded house that hasn't been... It's not even been remediated. I mean, they closed the doors. They went to live with family in Louisiana or Arkansas or Dallas or wherever they were. What's going to happen to these houses that people are just walking away from? Because my contingency is Chase and Wells Fargo, Bank of America, these guys, they don't want to own these houses. They don't want the liability of a flooded house. So how do the banks get rid of them? When they're not being paid, they've got a non-performing note. What are they going to sell the notes? Are they going to do short sales? What do you see? How are they going to do it?
Well, as far as selling the notes, who's going to want to buy a note to a non-performing loan? I mean, they've got to disclose that whether the loan's performing or non-performing, and then they look at the collateral. The collateral is damaged through floods. It's been abandoned. It's been non-remediated.
For the right price, I'd want to buy the non-performing note.
Well, I mean, for the right price, but the banks aren't going to turn around and sell on complete loss.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just they're in the business of making money, not losing money. So it's, and ultimately banks have a duty to mitigate damages. Now, what does that mean exactly? Well, after a certain amount of time, they can't just keep accruing interest. They're eventually going to have to get off the pot,
Right.
So, I mean, it's just the question is when. I mean, some banks have gone 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years without ever foreclosing, which the interest, of course, as you know, keeps going up and up.
Yes, right.
But now the homeowner's not paying taxes; they're not paying insurance.
Right.
So the mortgage company is going to have to pay taxes and insurance, and then again, it keeps going up and up and up. So I think eventually a bank will have to foreclose just because their duty to mitigate the losses of the customer.
1 minute.
Now obviously, if it's a homestead, if people moved out in their homestead, I mean, they want to make sure to claim that property as their homestead.
Right.
I mean, even if it's not being lived in, because that way, if it forecloses on it, they can get rid of the phantom debt. So in other words, if you don't homestead it, and let's say if the bank turns around and suffers a $150,000 loss, well, that's going to be a 1099, and now the homeowner who is lost a house can turn around and get in trouble with Uncle Sam.
Right. But if it's homesteaded, that doesn't happen.
Clear of that.
If it's homesteaded, that doesn't happen, correct? They don't come back and 1099 you for the loss.
and they can't sue you for it either. They can't turn around and sue you for deficiency judgment.
Okay, the music says we're out of time, so thanks for coming on board. That's great information for a lot of investors. I think they learned that for the very first time. It's plfpc.com. That stands for Patten Law Firm PC.com, 713-621-5808, 713-621-5808. Ashley, as always, great having you on the show.
Hey, Tom, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Mike's off.
Oh, man, now I'm dancing.
I know, right?
All right. Jerry is in the house.
If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal.
Oh, that's interesting. You almost always do the radio spot of the person that is.
But there's.
The team at Benchmark understands the investor.
Okay,
mindset.
got it.
They know what you need and when you need it. It's there for you.
Yeah.
Call Houston's leading real estate risk management experts. Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas.
Hey, Nikki.
281-569.
You want to do a sound check for Jerry?
Good. How are you? Checking 1 2 3. Checking 1 2 3.
Or online
Turn him up a little bit, please.
Okay.
Checking
Real
1.
estate investors.
Checking
If
1
you're
2
not
3. Checking
familiar
1 2
with
3.
Quest IRA,
Okay, we're good.
Let me
good.
tell you what you're missing. We've got free weekly
we got 3
educational
minutes.
classes,
Cool.
networking opportunities,
How you?
and the ability to
I'm doing
tap
well. How
into
about yourself?
trillions
Doing well.
of dollars for
Doing
your
real
real
well.
estate investing deals. Come by our office or join us remotely as we
This weather
simulcast
sucks, but
all of our educational
I
classes
haven't
every
really
Tuesday
noticed that.
morning and evening.
Got some new
For more
kicks? I
information, call
Did I
us
scuff
at
the heel already? Or I mean the
FUN-IRAs,
no, okay, buffed
or
out
visit
good.
our website
Yeah.
at questirA.com.
Yeah, they're actually trying some different style.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What kind of brand are those?
Alan Edmonds.
Man, those are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're about the only kind of shoe that I can wear.
Like for comfort, between Allen Edmond, which is really expensive,
Right.
and Echo.
Right.
I wear ECCOs
Right.
only.
Yeah.
For the most part. I mean, I beat up my shoes though, so I have
Are you
tons
a
of pairs.
realtor or
I have
seller
one
that
pair
is
at Allen
concerned
Edmonds.
about the new TRID rules and
But,
closing on time?
they're
I'm
expensive.
Jennifer Hernandez, senior
They
loan
are,
officer
but they
at
last
Legacy
forever.
Mutual
Oh, for
Mortgage,
sure.
and
I
we
mean,
have
I
mastered the 30-day
remember I
close.
started wearing Allen
We
Edmonds,
close
I guess,
on time,
just out of high
accurately,
school.
and with tons of
And,
communication. You'll have
because
a
they're one
dedicated
of, like, I have a
team of
really
coordinator
difficult
and a
shoe
contract
size.
to close
Yeah.
associate.
And
Give me a call
like, what
today
shoe
at
size are you?
713-579-3611
Yeah.
Which is no problem finding
and let's
those, right?
talk about how
Right.
we
So as
can
you
help
start going
on your
down,
next transaction. NMLS
get below
514497.
like
As
eights,
a real estate
and
investor, you rely on your
selection
property
starts
inspector to
decreasing.
determine the current condition
Yeah.
of the home
Get to
and potential
7.5,
investment from an
7.
investor's point of view.
Get to
Principal
6.5.
Inspections was founded
These
by
are 6
investor
Ds.
Jeremy Humphreys
6 Ds?
just
Yeah.
said, Principal Inspections
So,
is from the investor's point of view,
Yeah,
providing
Allen
clear
Edmonds is one of the
rules, quality
few people that
inspections
actually
with
makes that
information provided
size.
to investors
Have you tried
while not
Echoes?
clouding the report
I've got a pair of
unnecessary
Echoes for
detail.
casual shoes.
Principal
Yeah.
Inspections
But even
is safe
Echoes,
time and
they
money.
only
Call
have
Principal Inspections,
a very limited selection. I mean, like, if Echo has like 100 different styles, they might have 8 or 9 that will come in that size.
Right.
But yeah, they Echoes. I do own Echoes, but none of their dress shoes. They're all like casual shoes.
Yeah.
I've got a pair of slip-ons Echoes that I love that I wear quite a bit with blue jeans just on the weekend and stuff like that. And they're fantastic.
Like the reason why I like Echo so much is that I don't know what rubber they use on this heel. It never wears.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I'm like the worst because one of my legs are longer than the other, so I destroy
Mine
the
too.
heels.
About a half an inch.
Yeah, and these I've had these for close to 2 years now.
Yeah.
And the heel is still
fantastic.
intact. Yeah.
Have you ever tried Merrell's? Merrell's are
they're
another
like hiking
brand.
boots though.
No, they have some casual shoes as well, and they're another one of the probably most comfortable that.
Yeah. You know, the only thing you got to work on your sock game. You know.
My sock game.
Yeah, look at that. I mean,
that's
what you got to do nowadays.
I see that.
It's not just the shoes; it's the socks.
Yeah,
too.
no, I know. Mine's just a plain black. It's just I just got a Calvin Klein. But you know, look, it's a tone on tone. You may not have actually even noticed that. See, I've got a little diamond pattern tone on tone.
You got the stylish with the boots, but you gotta amp up your sock game a little bit.
Apparently, I do. I'm not a Saki yet.
jbfundservices.com.
That's funny.
281-915-0906.
See, we don't have to talk just real estate all the time, right?
No, I mean I'm probably the least stylish person out there, but for some reason, when you work at a shoe store, you just focus on like when you
did you work at a shoe store?
Yeah, I worked at Chance for like 2 years.
Oh, there you go.
And once you work in a shoe store, like it's
course.
game over. You like focus on shoes and socks like all day.
Is this going to be the fashion segment?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right, here we go, fellas. Hot mics.
Hey, welcome back. Might as well talk about real estate. I'm joined live in the studio now. Jerry Ta, he's with Property Care. It's propertycarehouston.com. That's propertycarehouston.com. 713-489-7653. 713-489-7653. You know, it's amazing to me how many people that I meet that are investors. I met a lady yesterday, last night at this event. She's, won't tell her age, but let's just say she's past 65. And she's got 9 rental properties. She lives in Houston, but 9 rental properties in Beaumont.
Okay.
And I'm like, hey, nothing wrong with that. But, you know, what I believe is the reason why people want to get into buying and holding real estate is they want to build wealth and income.
Right.
And the mistake that I see people make is she was saying, well, you know, I'm looking for maybe another. She's only added like 4 properties in the last 5 or 6 years to her portfolio. And she's like, you know, I'd like to buy another one. And I'm like, well, you know, don't get in a rush.
Right.
Just take your time. You know, there's a few thousand properties that are opportunities right now, right? And she goes, yeah, you know, I really want to buy something near a bus route, you know, because like all my houses now are near. I'm like, yeah, I don't know that that's such a great plan. Because, you know, we want to help people build for a better retirement.
Right.
You know, and although she's probably closer to retirement than most of our clients are, that most of our students at Right Path, what I realize is that some people, they're going down this track that they feel like is right, but it's not really getting them to where they want to get to. And one of the mistakes I see people make is they're not buying properties that are going to appreciate over time, because the reality is if you're buying houses near an area where people have to be near a bus line, they can't afford cars.
Right.
So those aren't some of your better neighborhoods, which means that if they're $500 a month rents now, 5 years from now, they're probably going to be, you know, $500 a month rents. And 10 years from now, they're probably going to be $500 a month rents. And so, yeah, if you can buy them for $30,000, yeah, you can pick up, you know, pay cash and you got $500 a month coming in, but you're paying taxes and insurance.
Right.
But it's like you're never really, you know, you're creating some income, some like some spending cash, paying some bills, but you're really not making headway on equity, on building, which is, you know, there's 5 different ways to make money in real estate when you're talking about buy and hold. And one of those is appreciation. But those houses are never going to appreciate.
Right.
I mean, unless something, you know, cataclysmic happens, where it just wipes out the whole neighborhood and somebody comes in, buys the dirt and redevelops the whole thing. But short of something like that, and then, oh, by the way, it's in Beaumont. I mean, don't want to knock Beaumont too much because, you know what, that's my kinfolk's from there, right? You know, my mom and dad both graduated from Port Arthur High School, so I know Port Arthur, Port Neches, Orange Groves. I mean, I can name all those areas, right? I'm not bragging. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, Beaumont's it's a good, you know, town. There's good jobs there. People pay their bills there. It's good, you know, down home country folk, right? But why $500 a month rents? I mean, what are some of the biggest mistakes you see investors make as buy and hold landlords?
Well, going along with, you know, what you're talking about, I've been on a road trip before where I seen a much older couple.
Yep.
Buy this, you know, get into their first rental investment property.
Yeah.
And I mean, they were so happy and stuff, but you know, I think they were kind of close to 60, if not already.
Sure.
And you know, I'm excited for them that they're happy, but at the same time, I'm like, you know, you just spent a lot of cash, you know, at an age where you're trying to eventually going to get some back very soon.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day, houses is not a liquid asset. You can't turn that into cash tomorrow if you want to. Maybe, you know, I mean,
it's about 90 days. In fact, we've been in the process of refinancing out a private money lender that lent on 3 properties. And originally our agreement was it was going to be a 5-year term, interest only for 5 years. But we always give a 90-day out clause because we feel like, hey, we can either sell the property or get it refinanced within 90 days. Well, because of all the turmoil, I mean, it's with Harvey and all of that. I mean, it's taken. We got him out in like 93 days on one of the properties. Where it's going to be about 100 days on the maybe 110 days on the other one, and it's going to be about 120 days on the third one.
Right.
And so you're right. It's not as liquid as
stocks or something,
correct.
equities,
yeah,
stuff that you can just turn into
or
cash.
Bitcoin,
right? Or Bitcoin.
Yay, Bitcoin! That's a joke. I'm not a big fan of Bitcoin at all.
You know what I come to find out is that some of these, I've been reading a lot of these currencies. They're not as they're slowing down the liquidity.
Of course, right.
Of it, like they're not letting people get.
You know who's killing it in cryptocurrencies are the market makers. You know the exchanges, because they don't have to execute the transactions instantaneously, right? I mean, some people say, "Oh yeah, I put the trade in, and I see it immediately." Yeah, you see that on the computer. I mean, ask the Bernie Madoff customers; they saw some fantastic things on their monthly or quarterly reports. All of it was just stuff printed on paper, and you can do it even faster on the computer, right?
Right. So going back to the top end, one of the mistakes I've seen is that, I don't know, when you're much older and you're just starting to get into it and you're going to burn through a lot of cash, just to get your first investment property. I always hate to discourage people from doing what they want to do,
right.
but sometimes I don't think it's the best idea to, at a later age to get into.
At what point in time, though, do you feel a responsibility to say, hey, I know that's your goal to do, let's say you see some guy that's, he's 70 years old, he's never swam before, and you see him like he's on the edge of the English Channel, and you say, hey, man, I've always wanted to swim across this thing, and you know how perilous that can be, right? And I mean, at what point you go, hey, bro, as a brother that I don't really know you, you're a brother from another mother because we're all part of the human species. I mean, I don't think that's such a good idea.
Right.
At what point do you have a responsibility to step in and say something?
I mean, just do the simple math. You got a 30-year mortgage.
Yeah.
And you're going to cash flow $400, $300. I mean, maybe $250 now at this point with property taxes going up. I mean, at what point in time do you get your full return on investment for the cash that you put in? Again, I was happy for them. They seem super excited about their first investment property, but I just had this feeling inside. It's like, that was a bad idea.
Yeah. Well, in fact, it's interesting because we were actually wholesaling a property to one of our students. And the property didn't make appraisal. And from a cash flow standpoint, and I can tell you the property address because you're familiar with it. You manage our rentals, so this is one of the properties that we have in our rental portfolio. And so we were in the process of selling because, again, back to this one, we were trying to get him out of this because he financed it long term on this, right? Well, we were selling for $210 and it appraised at like $170.
Right.
And so took off our investor hat as the seller of the property, put on our coach's hat and said, hey, man, as your coach, if I wasn't involved in the deal as your coach, I would tell you, hey, you need to cancel the deal. It's not a good deal with the amount of money that you've got to come out of pocket. There are better deals out there.
Right.
And so although we're going to lose the sale, I want to do what's right by you because at the numbers, he's going to have to come out of pocket like $96,000,
right,
which doesn't make sense. Even though, rents are crazy good, it's a duplex, all good area, all that kind of stuff, right? It just doesn't make sense. And so I always want to tell people, hey, you've got to find somebody that's going to help you. When you're building your team, find people that you can trust. Find a property manager that you can trust. Find a title company you can trust. Find a lender that you can trust. This is a team sport, real estate investing.
Yeah.
And what you'll find is there's a lot of sharks out there. In any investment world, there are sharks out there, and you've got to be careful. Are the people doing the right things for the right reason? And it takes a long time to develop a good, strong reputation, and it takes only moments to destroy that reputation. So you have to look at what are the reputations of the people that you're building around you in terms of your team.
Right. And one of the first giveaways that that's going to be good is that if they talk you out of doing something that would help them make a buck.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's someone that's looking out for your back.
Yeah.
Like right away.
Yeah. All right, so you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Our call-in number is 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817. I'm joined live in the studio with Jerry Ta. He's with Property Care. That's propertycarehouston.com. That's propertycarehouston.com. 713-489-7653, 713-489-7653. One of the major mistakes that I see investors make is they really don't value their time. In fact, this came up as a topic of conversation just the other day. I was talking to another business owner, and I was saying, hey, look, when your employee is doing this, their time is worth so much an hour, right? Let's say it's $50 an hour. But when your employee is doing this other thing, their time's only worth $15 an hour. They're really... Their most valuable thing that they could be doing is this. And I see that investors make that same mistake. There's very little that you can do where you can make the kind of money that you do being the investor. You're not making as much when you're managing the properties. You're not making as much when you're managing the rehab. You're not making as much when you're listing the properties, all those kind of things. Because, agents, they can make decent money, but not what an investor can make. And so you should spend more time being an investor, less time doing these other things. What we describe when you're building your real estate investing business is you want to build it and think of it like a business, not the way the size that it is today, but what do you want it to look like 5 years from now or 10 years from now, and the positions that you're going to need in place. And we recommend to people, hey, yes, you can manage one property by yourself, but is that the highest and best use of your time? I mean, y'all charge $85 to manage a property. Why would anybody want to manage it themselves?
Because they think they can do it better. But that's not necessarily true unless they have that. That's what all they're focused on.
So how much better? I mean, could you manage it twice as good? I mean, it's like I know of a lender in town that he's a really, really good hard money lender, and he said, I'm really great at doing QuickBooks. And I'm like, yeah, but you can hire a bookkeeper for like $20 an hour. When you're doing the lending side of your business, your time's worth way more than $20 an hour. You can't afford to do that even if you do it better. I mean, what if a brain surgeon could do QuickBooks? In the scale of 1 to 10, he's a 10 at doing QuickBooks. So what? I mean, hire somebody that's an 8 to do it.
And I think one of the things that people have to get out of their mindset is that you have to start managing people.
Yeah.
You got to get out of the weeds of doing the stuff yourself and actually talking to people. And people try to avoid that sometimes.
Agreed.
Telling what people to do is not, I don't think, a natural instinct.
Sure. Yeah. I think there's very few things that are natural instincts except for survival, right?
Right.
I mean,
self-preservation.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Well, I've talked about this before. I don't believe that, people are like, oh, you're a born salesman. I don't believe any salesperson is ever born. No one's born a brain surgeon. No one's born a rocket scientist. I mean, these are all learned skills. Nobody's born a driver. Nobody's born a golfer. These are all learned skills. I mean, we only have a few skill sets when we're actually born. We can cry, we can sleep, we can eliminate waste, and we can suck. That's about beyond that. I mean,
that's crazy. That's like the first thing you learn when a baby comes out, right?
Right.
Sucking.
Yeah. Right. yeah.
Not at life, but
I sucked from the beginning. I was an original sucker. All right. So you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. It's PropertyCareHouston.com. PropertyCareHouston.com. 713-489-7653. 713-489-7653. All I would say is that the number one thing that you need to do if you're going to be a buy and hold investor is find a good property manager, because if you're going to scale and grow a business, now if you just want to own one property, never want to own anything more than that, if you end up being a reluctant landlord, okay, yeah, do it yourself. But if you're going in that as a business, you've got to start with a property manager. Got to give Jerry Ty a call.
Yes. Please give me a call, 713-489-7653.
All right, thanks for coming in.
All right, thank you.
Cool.
You have a good one.
Mike's off.
All right, thanks.
Hi, Clint Coons here, attorney and avid real estate investor.
All right, see, man. Thanks for coming in. I'm sure I'll see you again soon.
The potential liability that exists from owning real estate. At Anderson Business, Legal, and Tax Advisors, we specialize in protecting real estate investors in all 50 states. In addition to structuring your business for optimum protection, we provide guidance so you pay the least amount of taxes available under the law. We have 150 employees that range from lawyers to CPAs to estate planners and much more. Download our free ebook, The Invisible Investor Strategy, today at AndersonAdvisors.com or call for a free risk reduction analysis and financial blueprint at 800-706-4741. Anderson Business Advisors will help you keep more of what you earn. Call us today at 800-706-4741 and mention Right Path Real Estate.
Great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary peer work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before every repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825. Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
Are small returns getting in the way of your retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree, single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website, jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
This is Business 1110.
All right, here we go. Hot mics.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817. I don't know that many of y'all may realize that you are probably only 5 years or less away from retirement, regardless of where you are right now. And if you don't feel like you're 5 years away from retirement, then what you need to do is go to rightpathrealestate.com and register for our free webinar that's going to happen tonight. It's the Intro to Income and Wealth in Real Estate. What we're going to talk about is how much it takes to be able to retire. What's your number? Everybody should have a number. I spoke to someone earlier this morning on the way into work, and I said, hey, do you know how much it would take in monthly income for you to consider yourself retired? And she goes, no, I've never even thought about that. And I said, well, that's kind of interesting that not thinking about it is a strategy, but it doesn't move you anywhere close to getting to where it is that you want to get to. So I wonder how many people out there listening right now don't have a strategy or a plan to get to a place where they can retire. Is the plan to just, stick your head in the sand like an ostrich and just ignore the situation? Or would you like to be able to come up with a plan that says, hey, if I execute this, this, and this, and this. So if you want to learn the secret to getting to retirement quickly, 5 years or less. Most people, they work an entire lifetime, 40 years. And then the tragedy of our society is, if you look at the quality of most people's retirement, it's pathetic.
1 minute.
Most people can't afford to retire when they finally get there. So today, if you want to register for free, all it's going to do is take an investment of your time. Even more importantly, if you want to hear it live in person, come to our free event. It's going to happen this Thursday at our offices, at the Right Path offices, 11451 Katy Freeway, Suite 360. All you got to do is go to our website, rightpathrealestate.com, RSVP at the website, or you can register immediately, sign up for the event. In fact, do both. Listen to it on the webinar and get it reinforced in person. Get your questions answered. Don't delay your better future. There's a cost for not knowing. There's a cost for learning it, which is your time. There's a cost for not learning it, which is your better future. Thanks for listening, guys. Jason and I will be in the studio tomorrow. Thanks for listening.
All right, Tom, have a good one.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Bye.